Mostly I'm saying welcome to all of you who are out there online watching us, because this is probably our strangest graduation that we've had yet. We've had several strange ones. Our very first one was outdoors with only 10 or 12 people, socially distanced with masks. The second graduation that we had was outdoors again on December 23rd. With again just a smaller group of people, and our last graduation was able to be indoors but was also socially distanced, but this may be our strangest graduation yet to date. We just have all of us, the staff and students in this room. It's a quarantining graduation, so we are here in our classroom at Crop and Kettle because it's one of only 2 rooms that we have that's air conditioned. And we are here as just the 7 of us, because one of our students, the 4th graduate, just learned last evening that she tested positive for COVID, and so we have all been contacts of her. We wish she could be here with us very much, but we were all close contacts of her, and so therefore we are all essentially quarantining together, but out of the safety of all of you who are watching at home. We unfortunately had to cancel the public ceremony that we had planned today, but hope that many of you are able to join us and celebrate along with us as you're watching online. Please, if you're watching, leave comments that all the students will get to read through later. Offer your congratulations and celebrations. And even though the circumstances are strange, we are excited to be here to honor this group of graduates here today. They're a special group that I was joking with them earlier that when they come here for the first day of the program, we have a day of orientation, and it is by far the most boring day that they will ever have in the program. And yet we could tell right away with their energy that they had on that very first day that this was going to be a special group. So there was a lot of joy, a lot of laughter that went through the course of this program. And every single student, I think, in this particular cohort got a really unique and individualized experience. As a staff, we all talked together about observations that we had of each of these students over the first 2 to 3 weeks of the program. And we really then made a personalized approach for each one of these students of a particular area of growth for each one of them. And we've seen each of them grow so much in those areas. So we're excited here today to celebrate Gary Benetti, Duval Conner, Lilikae Shepherd, and also Kierra Williams, who's unable to join us today. We're so proud of all of you. I know we're all going to miss you. The staff is going to speak about you here momentarily. But for myself, just Gary, you're easygoing, go with the flow attitude, sprinkled in with this great wit and sense of humor that you have. Duval, the father figure of the group, serious when you want to be, but also the first one to crack jokes and keep it lighthearted and just make sure we're all having fun. Lilikae, just your kindness, your warmth that just exudes from you, just makes everyone feel comfortable and at peace around you. And Kierra, and hopefully you're able to watch at home, just your selflessness, your hospitality, the way you're always thinking outwardly towards others. I'm going to miss all of you for each of those reasons. So the staff has some words that they'd like to share with you all here now. So Dave, I guess I'll let you go first if you're feeling ready for it.
Plan, prepare, present. Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon to our virtual crowd. My name's Dave Slobodnik. I'm the agricultural program leader here, and I'm just going to share a quick reflection on our time learning about agriculture with this cohort, and also on each of the students. So during agriculture, we learn by doing. And so we don't do I don't teach social development like Turk does, but as we learn by doing, we're really practicing the 6 core values that you and Turk talk about. And so really agriculture is practice for life, right? There are things we can take away from from our time in the garden and our time on our field trips that we can apply to life. Agriculture causes us to slow down and observe. And so I'm just going to reflect on each of the principles real quick before I wrap up my time. Patience. We practice patience because things don't grow overnight. You all planted seeds in the garden, and we didn't go there the next day and have them pop up. We had to wait patiently and hopefully that things would come. We cared for them, watered them, weeded them a lot, and hoped for them to grow. Integrity, every week, rain or shine, heat, not snow, thankfully, but we were there for the garden, or farm, or whatever you want to call it. You have learned that when you start something, you finish it. When you say yes to something, you're there for it. And you know that farmers do that 7 days a week. So you've learned, gained that perspective, and you've also applied it yourselves. Resilience. We've learned by observing plants and animals just how resilient they are, how they give freely of themselves to us so that we can enjoy them, how God has created things that way. We get to be in relationship and learn from these blessings. But just like us, they have needs. And so in this program, you've learned about boundaries also. And so in the garden, we create boundaries for plants, give them their need, make sure they have their needs, make sure the weeds aren't encroaching on them, so that they can be fruitful and successful, right? So that they get to produce a blessing and we get to enjoy it. And you have learned how to foster these things in your own life, not just water, food, and shelter, but boundaries in your life with other people, with your career, and how to foster boundaries for success. Hospitality, growing food is a daily blessing. You have learned the gratefulness that comes from growing something yourself, seeing it from seed to dinner plate. We call this food with a face. So not just food that comes out of a can or from a grocery store shelf, but a lot of the food we purchased came directly from a farmer, or we grew it ourselves, or we got to be in relationship with that chicken or cow. We got to visit chickens and cows on many of our field trips. Visit a dairy. So where does our milk come from? So we learned that food has a face. It doesn't just pop out of thin air. And so now you know local farmers that you have a network with. You can go there. They know Crop and Kettle, and they now, through our network, they know you, and you can use that to your advantage to procure product, ask tips and advice, or even for employment. You also get to show hospitality to others. We all eat, hopefully, 3 meals a day, and so every meal is an opportunity to sit down with others or prepare a meal and show hospitality to others. Dependability, our communities need local food. The demand is growing constantly every day for local healthy food, and you all are prepared to step up to the plate. There has never been a better time to become a farmer or chef. Our communities will depend on graduates like yourselves and local farmers or local chefs to grow and prepare this food. So you guys are in a wonderful position to be depended on by our community. And then Kaizen, constant self-evaluation and improvement. For farmers, this is the ability to find solutions on the fly or do better next time. And farmers only have so many seasons to do better, right? If you grow crop every year, you might only have 30 or 40 times to grow that crop. So you need to learn, you need to get better at it. Every season is a chance to improve. Here you practice that every day. And just like any sport, skill, boxing, whatever, you guys are going to have that technique, that muscle memory ingrained in you for the rest of your life. That every day is an opportunity to evaluate and improve and come back to the 1%, right? Every day. Duval, You have grown in your own patience and vulnerability. I've witnessed this in the garden. Whether as a leader in the kitchen or learning in the garden, you thrive and rose to the challenge. Kierra, your experience in agriculture fostered a drive to support local gardens and businesses. Gary, you expanded your palate to include some green things. But you shared, you've given a gift to us all by sharing your dependability and consistency. We all learned something from you, Gary, and we all need someone like you on our team, whether that's in our career or in life. Lilikae, it was neat to watch your relationship and love for caring for animals. Learn a lot about that and grow in that in the program. But aside from that, you also grew as a strong team player and as a leader. You went from someone who didn't know what weeds to pull and how to kind of find your way in the garden to someone who could take the chores for the day and run with it, or take your menu or a recipe for the day and run with it. So you really found your voice, and we're all proud of you for that. So to end, thank you for your commitment to good, locally grown ingredients, and creating recipes and menu and cooking for people from that, for wanting to grow the local food movement in our region, and good luck to you as you begin your careers and support the community.
Thank you.
So hi, I'm Turk. I'm the social development leader here at Crop and Kettle. When we discussed it as a staff, Dave and I drew short straws, and since Tim and Dave got to go before me, it's like they read my notes. So you may hear some of the same themes, but I think it's important for us to recognize that this class did have themes. With this class, we had jokesters, we had infectious smiles, and you all showed grit and determination. There wasn't a time throughout the program that I didn't see one of you having to go the extra effort to push over a hurdle or past a barrier that were standing in your way. Like Tim had mentioned in the beginning of the program, after we've gotten a chance to get to know you guys as students, we sit down as a staff and we start establishing goals we'd like to see you guys grow into. And I guess I'll take some time to talk about that a little bit. For Gary, that goal was for him to learn how to adapt to new situations. And I think, Gary, you learned that and emulated that specifically in two occasions. When everybody got sick, Gary steps up and became the leader in a situation that was uncomfortable and a situation that really needed a strong character to step forward and carry the torch, and you did. For Duval, I can't say enough about your vulnerability, but you also led by following. You learned how to lead by example, and you didn't have to use words often. And those were those serious moments that both Tim and Dave talked about, that you expressed a level of vulnerability by just showing up and doing what was required of you, and which allowed other people to shine, but also let others see that they can follow too, and it's okay to follow. And that gift you've given us is a gift that you can take into your next work, into your next place of work, or your own restaurant if that becomes the case one day. Lilikae, you learned how to do hard things. And, you know, we had a hard conversation even yesterday, and you took that on the chin and came back and still smiled. And you're still smiling today, if you can't see her right now. You will in a second. She's cheesing in only the infectious Lilikae way, for those that know Lilikae. And Kierra, if you are watching, we watched you grow not only in your humility, but we watched you grow in your ability to swell and accept things for as they are, not as you would have them be or as you think they should be. And that in itself is a gift that you're not only going to be able to pass off to your daughter and your family, but also to any other person that works around you. Any person that you're leading in the future or currently are going to see that it's okay to give grace to yourself and to others. As I thought about this class, two phrases came to mind. So learning to swell, and we do hard things. And this class particularly had to learn how to do that. So what do I mean by swell? When I say learning to swell, it's really learning to accept things as they are. Think of a bubble, right? If we blow into a bubble too fast, too hard, what happens to the bubble? It pops, right? Mm-hmm. But if we blow into that bubble nice and steady and then let it just come back to the surface itself, it'll do one of two things. It'll close and float off, or all that air will push back out and we can blow another bubble. And that's the goal, right? The goal is to not put so much tension on a situation that the bubble pops, or we force ourselves into that situation so much that the bubble pops. And that's like life, right? Learning to swell is learning to live in life with the ability to accept things as they are, not as I would have them, but make it better. And I think that this class has that ability and will take that into new levels and new heights. The other phrase that we came up with that this class reminds me of is we do hard things. My wife was reading a book and she shared this chapter with me, and without long dissertation, I can say that the punchline was that family did hard things. So it's a trait that we try to emulate ourselves as a family. But where I learned it the most is watching you guys push through really hard conversations in social development, push through the heat and the humidity of outside in the farm, or push through in the heat of the kitchen. There really is a thing about if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. And you guys didn't get out the kitchen. You might have wanted to, you might have wanted to run away, but I didn't see quitters. You guys push through and do hard things. And I expect that as you grow in your 1%, as you grow to do 1% better every day, right? To improve one thing, to use that, as Dave shared, Kaizen, right? To use all of those core values, but that Kaizen, to think about how can I do one thing better tomorrow, and then execute that. I think that's what's going to take you guys to the next level. And I already see it in your showing up today, in the conversations that we've had over the last couple of days, and your tenacity to go after your dreams and aspirations. The other thing that we do is we set goals. And I think each of you have worthy goals and the tools that can make you successful. And, for me, a true sign of success is passing off that gift. So what I challenge you guys to do, Duval, you especially as a father, but both of you as future community leaders as well, and Kierra, you're already a mother and you lead so many other people. I challenge you guys as a class, as a cohort, as a family, to pass on what you've learned here, because that's the only way that we, one, get better, and two, the next generation can learn. So, to you guys, congratulations. If I had a hat, I'd take it off to you. And good luck in your future endeavors.
Well, thank you, Dave and Turk, for sharing those great words. And thank you to all of you out there. I can see actually online, I've been seeing all the comments that you're putting out there of encouragement and congratulations for all these graduates. So please keep it up, whether they get the chance to read it now or later. I know it will mean a lot to them. And actually, this whole circumstance reminded me of something. Turk and I like to joke every time an obstacle that's thrown at us that's so unusual, like the one we're dealing with right now of a quarantined graduation. Turk and I like to joke that every time one of these huge obstacles come up, that we must be doing something right, because the enemy is trying to put himself in front of us and stop us. Well, this is unusual. This certainly isn't the way that we would have wanted to do this. But we might be actually reaching even more people by everybody watching online. So, enemy, take that. And we are going to celebrate anyway. So, I asked the students then, a couple of the students I've invited to share a few words of their own, of their experience in the program. And Duval, if you're ready, I'd like to start with you.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank God for this experience. Crop and Kettle was brought to me by my cousin. She was going here, Erica Willis, and she was telling me about how great Crop Crop and Kettle was, and she told me about the whole agriculture thing, and that's what really piqued my interest. And I was like, okay, I came not knowing what to expect, but to expect the unexpected. And they have this thing where they say, you have to work your plan for your plan to work. And us here at Crop and Kettle, this staff, they worked their plan for our plan to work. And I can't say enough and thank you guys enough. This is it's a great time. It's also bittersweet. My mother passed away last year. She's not here to see it. But I know she's like, my baby did it. I want to thank my cohorts, Gary, Lilikae, little sis, Kierra. This has taken me to another level and put me to another level and made me feel like there's nothing I can't do. Staff, Turk, my man, Mr. Body Shot right there. Social development, I didn't care too much about when I was younger. I don't want to hear about no social development. He taught us how to become vulnerable. He taught us how to deal with hard things. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I thank you for that. Dave, I call him the garden whisperer. This man, I don't know what he can't grow. Okay? Like, he does it all, but like they say we're in our element, you can see he's just happy when he's out there or when he's talking about it. And that made me want to learn more about agriculture. So I thank you for that. Chef. I don't know what to say with Chef. But she's great. She's great. She pushed us. But at the same time, she left it where we were allowed to grow on our own. She was there for everything whenever we needed it. But she also kicked us out the nest when it was time to fly. Tim. That's Tim, my man. Tim, I didn't know how to take Tim first. I will admit, I came in, we had a challenge, and I was a little cocky, a little arrogant. And we didn't meet the deadline. I didn't make it on time. And he came in like Hurricane Katrina and had a brother a little shook. At that point, I started taking him more serious. But he is such a great guy. Such a great guy. Easy to talk to. Always open door policy with him. And I thank you so much for that. I love each and every one of you. I will be coming back every other day for lunch. Thank you guys for the experience. I will never forget it, and I'll cherish it always. Thank you.
Thanks, Duval. Thanks, Duval. And then we have some words from Lilikae. One of the goals for her was to help her break out of her shell, so she's doing it right now.
All right, Lily.
Hi guys. So my experience here at Crop and Kettle, it was great. I had some times where I got scared, like I couldn't do it, but I had Chef in my ear telling me that I could do it. Between all the injuries I got during this cohort, I learned to be more careful and take my time. I don't have to always be in a rush. And I got some really good, cool tools from Chef. Some little, like, snippets for different recipes and how to tweak stuff. So I thank you for that, Chef. And Dave, you taught me a lot about gardening and how to care for your vegetables. And it is a hard process, but it's also easy. It's an easy startup too. It's just maintaining, taking care of them, and treating them and what they need. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And Turk, thank you for just like pushing me, because I have not did hard things, and now I have confidence that I can do hard things and not be afraid to push myself to do them. Duval, thank you for just being that partner, that one that when I needed a hand, you jumped right in. Like, okay, I got you. What you need? Gary, thank you for your help too. Like, just jumping in when you're needed, or stepping up when somebody steps out. And Kierra, just for your love and just your concern for my well-being and my independence. I thank you for that. And to Tim, for just being the instructor and still being that person that pushes us and telling us that we can get through this and we can do hard things. I thank you guys, and I will really recommend this to other people to come here.
Stay here for a minute, Lilikae. You can all clap. Yeah, we can clap. I asked you to stay up here because there's one special award that you get that the rest of the group doesn't, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. So we had one student in this group who accomplished perfect attendance for the entire program, and that is Miss Lilikae right here in front of us. So give her a hand for that. She joins just two other people who have accomplished that. This is now our fourth cohort that's graduating, and she joins just two other people who have accomplished that in the past. So it's quite a remarkable accomplishment. So we have a special recognition for you for that. Certificate here. For everyone out there, it says recognition of perfect attendance. We have a saying here, and it says it on here. So no perfect people are allowed at Crop and Kettle. It's a saying that we have here, and it's actually on all of our doors here. So no perfect people are allowed. However, perfect attendance is encouraged. So this certificate is provided by confirmation of the faculty and recognition by the Board of Directors to hereby honor Lilikae Shepherd on this 25th day of August, 2021 for achieving perfect attendance throughout the entirety of the Crop and Kettle Workforce Training Program. So congratulations to you, Lilikae. As a reward for your perfect attendance, you get to go on a riverboat cruise of the city of Pittsburgh with the staff and our families later this fall.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So congratulations to Lilikae. I do want to recognize, as far as attendance goes, the entire group, really. This entire group had perfect attendance through what we call the provisional period, which is the first 2 weeks of the program. They are 2 weeks that we fully acknowledge are often the hardest for the students, just adapting to a new structure, to a level of accountability that maybe they haven't experienced for a while or maybe ever. So there's a lot to adapt to. So having perfect attendance during those first 2 weeks is quite a feat. Every single person in this cohort had perfect attendance through that period. And in total, there wasn't a single person in this entire cohort who who had anything less than 90% attendance. So it's really remarkable. And so one managed perfect attendance, which just goes to show you how hard it is to do that. But every single one of you, every single one of these students was so committed to the program. And so we are grateful for that, and we think you guys got so much more out of it because of your commitment. So congratulations to all of you for that. So now we have a presentation of some certificates for all these folks. The first ones here are certificates that they earned. These are industry credentials, and I'll have each of them in a moment come up here and receive theirs. They are already aware that they've achieved these, but now all of you out there get to be aware. There are two certificates that you get in the course of this program. One is an agricultural safety certificate. It's offered through Penn State University. It's a farm market food safety course. And the other is ServSafe food management certification. Both of these are industry recognized credentials. ServSafe in particular, very highly regarded in the food service industry and is a huge resume builder for everybody out there. We are so proud to say every single one of these students earned both of these certifications. Again, first time that any cohort has done that. All of them earned that reward. And in fact, one of our staff members bet them earlier in the course of the program that if they all won the award, that the next morning he would cook them breakfast, and he got to cook them breakfast. So it's the kind of bet you're happy to lose. I'll put it that way. So they all earned it. So Gary, I'll have you come up and you can formally receive your certificates for ServSafe, and congratulations, Gary. Duval, I'll have you come up, and here you go,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Lilikae, here's yours. Congratulations. Well done. Kierra, we will be keeping yours here for you. Once you're well, we will definitely get them in your hands. And then this next certificate, your formal certificate of graduation. Bright and shiny, little gold glossy on there. For each of you, it says, Certificate of Graduation in recognition of successful completion of the requisite course studies and by recommendation of the faculty, the Board of Directors hereby honors, in this case it's Gary Benetti, on this 25th day of August 2021 for the exemplary demonstration of skills and values of this institution and the fulfillment of all program requirements. And it's signed by myself and our board president, Craig Conforti. So congratulations to each of you. I'll pass these out to you. Gary, if you'd like to come up first. Congratulations, Gary. Yeah. Duval. There you are, sir. And Lilikae. Congratulations. And we do, Chef, I'll have you on cue. We do have some extra gifts for you guys here. You get to, of course, keep your graduation uniforms that you're wearing, but you also get to keep some swag from the program. So there aren't too many people out there in the world that have these, but you as Crop and Kettle graduates, you get to keep one set of each of your uniforms. So your chef coat and pants, your agriculture shirts and pants, and your hoodies here. So pass these to you guys. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. All right. And Chef has one last gift for you guys. And you've been already ready to steal away. Each of the graduates also gets to keep their professional knife kit. These are highly valued. They're a very expensive professional set of knives. Each of the students uses and cares for them while they're in the course of the program. And as graduates, you get to keep them. And use them as tools of the trade as you go forth from here and to start your careers. So I'll let Chef.
Lilikae. Now you can expand it with the other cake.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you deserved it. And we got Chuck up next, Mr. Duval.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You know you tried to keep it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Mr. Gary Benetti. Yes. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Continue to build on those sets. They'll last you a lifetime.
Absolutely.
So we're winding down here. We did have a keynote speaker lined up for you all. I know you all got to enjoy his cooking and just getting to know him and talk with him a bit. Chef Ralph from Gordon Food Service had planned to join us. Obviously, circumstances as they are, and out of respect for his health and the organization that he works with every day, we asked him to not come today. But I'm sure he would have had some inspirational words for all of you. I guess I'll wrap it up by saying, reiterating, I think, what Turk shared earlier, and that is that you all have come a long way. You all have learned to do hard things, and so pay that forward. Remember to offer what you've received to the next person coming along, whether that means referring them to a program like this, or just means offering what you can to the people in your own circles, to your friends and to your family. So pay that forward, everything that you've learned. So congratulations again. Thank you to everybody online who's joining us. We'll just close with a brief word of prayer here. In Turk's voice, I should say, awesome. Let's pray. God, we thank you. We thank you for this time that we all got to spend together. A circle that may never look the same again, but you brought us all together and knit us together in this season for your reasons and for your purposes. And we learned throughout the course of this program that, God, we are all your handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works that you've prepared in advance for us to do. And now through the course of this program, we are getting a greater sense of who you've created us to be. And so would we go forth from this place, living out all that you would have us do, but always with your guidance and with your love and with your strength to lean on. We thank you for all that you've done through us and with us through the course of this program. We thank you for your love and grace that will carry us as we leave from here. Pray all these things in the name of your precious Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Congratulations, everybody.